Welcome back to the show, and as promised, Deb is back because she's going to share some more wonderful techniques with us. Hi Deb, how you doing?
I'm doing great, Joy. How are you?
Good.
Oh, that's good.
I really loved what you did the last time.
Oh, really? Oh, good.
With the watercolor techniques.
Excellent.
So you have something else to share with us?
You know, I do. Somebody had given me actually a cigar box purse with a whole sea scene that they did on it. It was amazing. And they did it with our rubber stamps, our sea scene rubber stamps. So what I decided, I thought it would look really, really good on a picture frame. So what I did was I took a mat, and this is what we're going to work towards, using the mermaid and the sea plant, the octopus, the hay, and some shells, the she sells seashells stamp. Don't you love that? And I got some sand from the beach, which I'll return when I'm finished with it. And then you folks also carry these really cute, actually they're in pouches now. This is what it's going to end up looking like.
Okay, that's really
So I'll put that off to the side. And the first thing that we do is take a white paper, and I'm going to stamp all of the images that I'd like. And I'm going to stamp them on a white piece of paper, and I'm going to want several of the coral, so I'll stamp a bunch of those. And I want at least one octopus. But what I'll do is I'll stamp a couple just in case I don't like the color that I end up with, so that I have enough. The conch shell's really beautiful as well. And so I have those, and here's another sheet. And again, I'll do multiples of certain ones.
Okay.
And I love these watercolor pencils, and I'll outline the design like this. And I'll use this. I'm not being super exacting because all of these colors will blend together afterwards.
Okay.
So then I'll take my watercolor brush, and I'll put my ink pad off to the side, and my trusty paper towel. I'll squeeze my water aqua brush, and I'll just kind of blend these together. Isn't that beautiful?
Yes, it is.
So these are my painted and already watercolored pieces, that my elements that are going to go, my little sea collection, which I love. And oh, see, there's my scallop. Now with this scallop, what I did was I used a scissor. I cut it out, and then I cut down here, and I cut down on this side, like that. And then since the scallop is kind of like a fan, what I did was I bent it, just to give it a little bit of dimension, back and forth, and back and forth, and back and forth. And so I have these two pieces that I can kind of bend down a little bit, and this I can kind of work up a little bit, so I have a little bit of dimension to that one. And what I did was I stamped in black ink a layout of how I wanted them. And I didn't care that they're overlapping, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these on top of that, and this is just my guide, because we're going to cover it all up, and some of them we might leave so it gives you perspective. And again, because we're building up and adding these, we're going to work from the back to the front.
Okay.
Okay, from the background to the front. So what I did on the background for the sky and the sea a little bit is I took a few different color blues and a little purple, a drop of yellow. And what I'll do is I'll use, this is a different way to use the paints, and I just got this all over the place, but that's okay because it looks like bubbles.
It does look like bubbles.
So we'll just add a few more bubbles, which is to actually paint your pencil, not pen, and let's put a couple drops in there. Well, that should probably, oh, that actually looks really nice as bubbles. Yeah, really. Let's add a little of this. There we go. So we have multicolored bubbles. I'm going to get out the excess paint. I want it nice and watery to give it a nice water finish. So I'm just going to give it a little brush like that.
Okay.
And I'm using different color blues and the purple so that it gives dimension, because no sky is perfectly blue, no ocean is perfectly green. There's always a little bit of colors in there. I'm going to add a little bit of yellow in there because it looks like a sunsetty sort of picture. And then what I did was I took some corrugated cardboard, a box, and I ripped it to make my rocks.
Oh, okay.
To make my whole rocky, sandy area right here.
Oh.
So I wanted to build this up, And what I did was I took a stipple stipple brush, a brown ink pad, a green ink pad, and a reddish ink pad. And I took one of them and I just started giving a little bit of background here to give a base for the rocks and sand that these guys are sitting on. And then I'll take another color and kind of add that in, because nothing in nature is exactly one color. And I'll start gluing on my various layers. What I noticed was that I wanted some coral behind my images and some seagrass behind my images. I do want her to sit on top of the rocks, so I'm going to do her last. So I want this kind of hiding behind as well. So what I'm going to do here is I'll just kind of cut this off. Well, I'll glue it on first. The easiest way instead of measuring. Love tacky glue. Tacky glue is great. It actually adheres the sand and the shells on.
Shells,
Yeah. Although if you want, you can use glue guns as well. So I'm just going to trim that. That's the cheater's way. Okay. And then I glue all of these cute little guys on in a rocky sort of way. In a rocky sort of way.
Collage.
Little collage. So I have little rocks in different dimensions. And I like the fact that they kind of go over into the frame. So I'll do several of these, but I want a little piece of, where's my, oh, here we go. I love this coral. So I'm actually going to cut the coral in half, so I have a couple little pieces that I can now stick out before I put the next one on. So I put a little tacky glue on that.
So you kind of have an idea of what you want.
Yeah, and what happens is that because I did the stamping first, that acts as my guide. So I'll do this, and I'll put a little more tacky glue on this, and tacky glue is very tacky.
Yes, it is. And the longer you let it air, it gets tackier.
Exactly, gets tackier. So I'm going to finish putting all, I'll just put a couple more pieces. You can also, one of the tricks with this kind of paper or cardboard is if you're doing it as rocks, you can crumble it a little bit to give it a little bit more texture. And again, I'm not being exact because the rocks kind of stick up in different ways. So there we go. I'm just going to put a little bit of glue down here. And there's a piece of seaweed right there, so that means that there should have been a piece of seaweed sticking out because we want some of this stuff to come out from behind. So we'll add that right there. Yippee. And we'll put a little bit more, one more piece of seagrass. We should have sea glass in here. That would be fun. Right there.
Along the top.
Along the top.
Yeah.
And then we'll add this to this side right here, and then we're about to start, and I'm not worrying too much about the edges because we're going to start putting, which I love, just little dots of glue around to put sand on.
Okay.
We'll put sand and the Flower Soft. Have you heard of Flower Soft?
Oh yeah, we've been doing it for
How come you didn't tell me? You didn't tell me about Flower Soft.
We've had it for a while now.
So I'm doing the
Sprinkles.
the sand sprinkle. It's kind of like seasoning your chili. Yum, yum, yum. Oh, and let's put a little bit more on here. A few more dots, wherever. A little more dots. More dots, more dots, more dots. And this time we're going to put Flower Soft on.
Okay.
And I love this Flower Soft stuff because it makes the coral look alive. It's great for, you know what this is great for? Dioramas.
It is.
I love it. So we're going to put some Flower Soft on here.
I've been using it a lot for like little hakules on stamped images.
God, yes. So we shake it off. And look at that, isn't that fabulous?
It has lots of texture on it.
Lots of texture and dimension on it. So the next thing we're going to do is
pop those guys on.
Pop these guys on.
With more glue.
With more glue. More glue. We love glue. So the way we do the glitter after the shells are on is you take out a trusty box and you go outside. And I use floral glitter from Fabulous Floral Department. And I spray the blue kind of on the bottom. And then we're going to do an opalescent glitter on the top.
Okay.
There we go.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
And just let it dry.
And let it dry. And voila.
Beautiful.
Isn't that gorgeous?
It is. It is beautiful.
So that's it.
Are you going to be at Made in Hawaii Festival?
Absolutely.
So maybe you'll have some of these samples out there too?
We will. We will.
Great. Well, we'll all look forward to seeing you next month there.
Thanks so much, Joy.
Thank you for coming.
My pleasure.
And of course, you got to come back. There's still many more months to the year.
Oh, good. I'd love to come back.
Great. Thank you, Deb.
Oh, you're so welcome.
We're going to take a short break and we'll be right back.